like? I would like the Internal Revenue Service to have just a little more access to my life. You know, if I could get for instance, let's say we could get the IRS. How much would you pay to have the IRS read your emails?
Oh.
I mean, seriously.
Half my income? I think I'd pay half my income for that.
Congratulations.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Now, how much would you pay? I don't know why my microphone doesn't sound right today, but the Internal Revenue Service has claimed that the agents do not need warrants to read people's emails today, their text messages, or other private electronic communications. I don't know what other private communications we happen to have. Can you think of any other private?
So what are the ones emails?
Emails. Hang on just a second. Emails, text messages, or other private electronic communications. I guess
cell
that would
phones?
be cell phones.
Maybe. Can they listen to our cell phones?
Of course they can.
Conversations? I guess so. Yeah. I guess.
Now they're also going after. I don't know if you know this, but they're also going after Facebook. Do you know that? Have you heard this? They are now putting agents on Facebook. And what they're doing is they're going through your Facebook. If they suspect that you are committing tax fraud, they're going on and they are looking for vacations. For instance, you say that you're at a business conference and you write off a business conference. Is there a picture of you sitting by the pool with a drink in your hand?
You can do that at a business conference.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, so that wouldn't prove anything.
I'm a little torn on this,
though,
because if you're committing tax fraud and you're dumb enough to post all sorts of vacation pictures,
no, I agree
on
with
a
you.
public broadcasted available site.
Here's what I want to. There's two things that I want to accomplish here today. One, how much more power are you going to give people? America, that's the question. How much more access and more power are you going to give people in the government? They now say they don't need warrants to listen to your phone conversations or to read your email. This is something that should shock and horrify everybody in this country. Everybody in this country, when you were up in arms because of the Patriot Act, where are the people on the left? You were up in arms on the Patriot Act. How dare you? They're going to listen to that. And our stupid response to that was, they'll never do that. Now, learn from our lesson. Because now they are doing that. Congratulations. You were proven right. Here's one show that will say, you were right. We shouldn't give them power. You were right. Now, while you're in our stupid stupor, and you're like, well, they'll never do anything bad with that. Why did you have a problem with it in the first place? Why did you have a problem? Now they're arguing. First it was, they'll never do that. Now they're arguing, well, they won't do anything bad with it. Why were you worried about it in the first place? If it was just because, they're just going to read it because they get kicks out of your emails. You're so entertaining and funny. They're never going to do anything about that. Don't worry about your privacy. They're going to keep everything quiet themselves. They're just reading it because they learn so much from you.
Who doesn't trust the IRS?
Right.
With all your private personal information.
Exactly
I know
right.
I do.
Right. And this is beyond, they're using the Patriot Act, to listen to people on terror. No. This is the IRS saying they can listen to your phone conversations. They can read your email. They can read all of your text messages.
And they can't do anything bad with that. What good can they do with that? That's only for bad. That is only to take money from you.
No, that's only if you are cheating.
Uh-huh.
That's only if you're cheating.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's what people are saying now. Well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so what is wrong with you people? Don't you just want to punch those people in the face and say, what is...
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Violent rhetoric.
Violence. Did you hear how many times we were talking about shooting yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
How many shots you took yesterday?
Oh, my gosh.
My gosh, it was awful. Of course, we were talking about basketball, but did you hear the rhetoric?
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous.
Okay, so...
By the way, we should give, I guess, credit then to the ACLU, who is on the side of both of them and is on the side of this one, the one that actually got the Freedom of Information Act request. that obtained the documents that said the IRS was doing this.
Every once in a while, that agency, that union, if you will, set up by communists. Every once in a while,
I think
literally,
still run by communists.
literally set up by communists.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, they fall on the right side.
But I mean,
It's rare, but every once in a while, it happens.
how do you make that case though? If you're saying that they're right, I mean, if they're still run
I don't
by
know.
communists,
I don't know.
I mean,
They are not like the progressives. They're not like the progressives. They're not. Actually, let me say this. They are not like the Democrats and the Republicans, and they are not like the National Organization of Women. That are just, it doesn't matter. They're not like the NAACP. Doesn't matter. If it furthers the goals of their political masters, now doesn't care. They'll do whatever they'll do whatever. They'll say, "Oh, she was raped. Well, she deserved it. Look at the way she was dressed." And you're like, "You're the National Organization of Women."
So you think the ACLU, and you've made that observation about PETA as well.
I'm not saying that they are PETA. I think PETA, I have respect for PETA, even though I disagree with them. I have respect for PETA because at least PETA stands consistently. They really, truly believe in something. They're not Al Gore. They truly believe in something. And so they really actually stand on are consistent, and they make their case clearly. So, I mean, in a world that is this upside down, I have tremendous respect for PETA. The ACLU, no, but at least occasionally they do seem to be on the not the right side. They seem to be consistent.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I remember when people were snooping around like Rush Limbaugh's medical records. They were on his side on that as well. So they do occasionally, but they're a very frustrating organization overall. It seems like.
Yeah,
but maybe they're right. Maybe we were wrong and they're right. I don't know.
No. You know what? I think PETA is an extraordinarily frustrating organization.
Oh yeah.
But I am not frustrated with those guys. I have no problem if I know what I'm dealing with. And you're being straight up honest, I'll live with you and coexist with you forever because we'll duke it out in the public square. You know who PETA is. You know what they believe, and they're not underhanded and dirty, where most of these progressive organizations, and quite honestly, some of the conservative ones as well, the GOP, you don't know what the hell they even stand for. They don't. All they stand for is power. That's it.